Hi everybody, I'm Sharon Restrepo, and today I'm here with you to talk about real estate steal deals and opportunities. And today we are going to do a little education on doing renovations right. A common roadblock to success for many real estate rehabbers is cutting corners or being cheap on their renovations. And this is a before and after picture from a couple that invests together, and she finds the deals and he runs the crew and does the work. And the before and after picture is phenomenal here. They did really, really well on this house, and it almost doesn't even look like the same house because the after picture looks like the garage door is on the side, but it's just that they took a photo of this house from a different angle. But just with the different angle and the change of color, and it just looks amazing. And so this house sold right away. They paid $130,000 for the house, and $230,000 for the house, and they just put it under contract for $325,000. So they did really well on it. I want to say the renovations amount was around $30,000. The house had great bones. There was a lot that they didn't have to replace. It was just filthy. So I thought that was a really nice deal for them. And so we're going to talk about just a few of the ideas that we can give those of you who want to be renovators. You're buying homes, you're buying ugly, outdated homes, and you're trying to renovate them. And the whole goal, right, is to bring a buyer in that walks in, falls in love, and wants the house right away. And the best result is when every buyer walks in and they all want the house, and there's a bidding war, and you get to take the best, most qualified buyer at the best price. And, there's a reward for doing the properties right and spending the money to do them right. And so the tips that we're going to share with you as new renovators or seasoned renovators hopefully will help you become more profitable doing your renovations. So one of the things that we want to talk about is, making your renovation unique and more appealing. Something that I like to do is I like to go into the new home, new construction areas in the price range and in close proximity to the homes I'm renovating and selling. I want to see what they look like because, the favorite thing for a new buyer to do is to go into those new construction homes that they don't think they can afford and see what they look like and imagine their dream home. And most often I go into those homes and I say, okay, this is what's trending. Something that looks like an island, a very open kitchen. Granite, of course, is trending. And in the price range that I'm working in, of course, I have to stick to what's trending in that price range. Okay, that's the only thing that's going to be relevant. And what are they looking at? Okay, ceramic tile, that's wonderful, but laminate is the new thing that everybody wants to see. That wood look, and even that color is changing, and they're coming in with more colors now and kind of tending to go from brown to gray. And so you're constantly keeping an eye on what's trending and what your buyers, which is your audience you're trying to appeal to, is looking at and looking for. So going into new construction model homes is a wonderful way to do that. And you'll notice once you start walking through Home Depot aisles and really looking at products and materials, you'll begin to notice that in those new construction homes, the products and materials are exactly what you can pick up and make your home look very, very similar to. Same color theme. It's very easy to look like the model homes and stay within your budget. Now, this is a picture of a home here where you can see on the right, I had to put two photos together. Very dark, old, dated kitchen there. And over the sink, there's a pass-through window to what was closed into a family room, but that window was still there. And on the other wall is the refrigerator and more cabinets. And so when you look to the after picture there, you see that over the sink, you can see where the faucet is. We've closed off that window, right? So that family room now becomes all its own, another room. And in actuality, to the right of the kitchen and to the left of that dining room chair, there was another doorway that went out to that same room. So we closed that off and made the entrance to that large room down through the kitchen there. And it changed the whole flow of the home and made it, more of a formal dining area. And then by taking down the wall in the kitchen, we still had plenty of room for the refrigerator, which you can see is just to the left of that island, but we really opened up the space. So when you walked in the front door, which is opposite of these three stools, When you walked in the front door, there was just a big wall in front of you. And so when you take that wall down and really open it up, there's a skylight above you. And now you no longer have this narrow entrance to this dark kitchen. It really changes the look and feel of the home. Now we look more like that model home, yet in this neighborhood, every other home that the buyer is looking at looks like the old style home because they all tend to look the same. Now they walk into yours and go, whoa, this is different. This is unique. It's beautiful. I don't have to do anything here. I don't feel closed in. It's the same floor plan that I have been looking at in this neighborhood, but this one blows me away. And so you're not spending a lot of extra money at all to do something like take down a wall like this. And when you have the room to do it, I'm a big, you know, my contractors, it's funny because now they walk into a house and go, all right, which walls are we taking down? Because I'm famous for taking down walls and opening things up and trying to be unique and trying to trend. And the reward is in that my houses sell really fast. So I believe in spending the extra money in the kitchen and in the master beds and bathrooms. You're going to spend the money where the decision makers spend their time. Okay, so I'm going to continue to show you some pictures that can help you visualize the ideas we're talking about. So again, we're going to look at what's trending, and we're going to either create space, or at most of the time, you're simply creating the illusion of space. Because unless you actually do take a wall down and create more space, which I will show you in another photo later, you are really just creating the illusion of space, right? In that last picture, I didn't actually increase square footage, but I increased the illusion of more space, okay? And that space sells, okay? So that's a big, big plus. And of course, staging always helps sell a property, helps a sale, and helps the appraisal as well. So I will keep the furniture when I stage a home in the home all the way through an appraisal, because it really does help the appraisal come in significantly more as well, in my experience, and it's statistically proven that it does as well. So now this is a condo. Believe it or not, this is a before and after photo of a kitchen. And when you walked in the front door of this place, you walked into a hallway. You can see in the before picture, the front door is to the right and then back up some to where like you're sitting of this door into the kitchen. So when you walked into this unit, you walked into a hallway. There was a wall on your right and a wall on your left, and then you walked into this doorway to come into your kitchen. So I want you to notice in that before picture where the sink is at, and now look where the sink is at in the after picture. It's in the same exact location, but we have taken down all of that wall, all of that soffit. Oh no, the soffit's there because that's where our AC is at, okay? So we've taken down those upper cabinets, and we've opened this wall back to as far as we can. So now it opens up to the entire space of the living, dining, looking out to the patio and everything. So when you walk into this unit, you're not confined anymore. It's very open. And since condo after condo after condo in the same building is going to have that same confined look and feel, they're going to walk into this one and be blown away. So we've created this ledge with the granite. It's even additional bar or eating space. And again, it changes the whole look and feel. So where you see the refrigerator, from the right of the refrigerator all the way to the wall was one huge pantry / closet. So in order to make our kitchen seem grand, we reduced some of that pantry space and we left a space for the stackable washer dryer. And so that's how we pulled this off. And there's still a dishwasher under that bar and everything else. And so again, it's not a lot of money to remove a wall. Obviously, I'm not moving walls that hold up my home called load-bearing walls, but I'm removing walls that are easy to cut and remove simply because it's drywall. And so sometimes you're actually saving money because, you know, for example, it would cost me the same thing to have to put back wood cabinets above the, you know, in the old picture, I'd be putting back wood cabinets. I'd be putting a tumblestone backsplash all across that wall there. I would be spending money to keep that wall there. And for the same money, or maybe even a little bit less, I've created a much better space. So sometimes, you know, you are saving money, or it's the same money you're going to spend anyway, but you get a much more dramatic look when you're done, a look that sells the home. And this one sold right away. In fact, the person who bought this one wanted to buy all of the furniture. So I actually made money selling the stager's furniture to this buyer. All right, so moving on, here's another one. You know, like I said, I'm showing you a lot of kitchens because kitchens really make a difference. This particular home had an enormous kitchen with eat-in area, and it was just really, really funky layout. As you can see in the before picture, the kind of island bar thing protruded from the wall. And then it had hanging cabinets that if you were standing in front of it, you couldn't even see across the room. So it's very bizarre. It doesn't flow, it doesn't work, and it certainly doesn't give an illusion of a big kitchen. And as you can see in the after photo, we wrapped the kitchen around and we created an island. Now, one of the things I do to significantly reduce the cost of a real island, see, when you have an island that is stationary, you have to have, in most municipalities, electric run to that island so that you don't have cords running across the floor. So yes, you can do that. Sometimes you can put the pole down coming from the ceiling, and that costs less than digging up the floor. There are ways that you can do that. However, I make movable islands. So it's really just cabinets with the granite over. I don't tile around it. The tile right under it, and then we build the island last. So they can put the island against the wall. They can move the island and wrap the kitchen another way. But I do that because it gives them the flexibility to move the island, and at the same time, it reduces my cost to give them an island dramatically. So another thing I want you to notice in the after picture and the before picture is to the left of the stove in the after picture, there's a window there. In my before picture, there was no window, and I'm one of those people that I'm thinking through the realistic use of this home, and there's a beautiful patio and deck out there where someone would have their patio furniture and their barbecue grill, and then they'd be coming in through the dining room and the kitchen to get things back and forth the whole time. And so I said, well, that's crazy. Let's put a pass-through window. And when the contractors were bidding the job, they recognized, well, Sharon, here's the reason why the kitchen didn't wrap before. The countertops of the kitchen is higher than the depth, the bottom of the window. So see in the before picture, you couldn't wrap the kitchen without changing that window because your countertop is above the window. So we actually had to change out that window. And so we pulled permits, changed that window, added the other window with a granite pass-through. So there's a ledge actually of granite, like a bar, onto that deck. So you could open the window and have a very usable, countertop there, handing things out to whoever's grilling or whatever's going on out there. And it's a much more realistic use of the space. And I'm sure the house would still sell without it, but I like to know I would move into this home, and here's what I would like to have at the very least. And so we did a lot of other things in this kitchen, and like, for example, to the left of the refrigerator, it was a very bizarre closet, and it had the washer and dryer and the water heater. I have no idea why, but we relocated those things to the garage, which makes a lot more sense because we had a huge garage, and we turned that into a pantry like it should be. So we did a lot of extra things in this kitchen that really made a huge difference. And we still had room for a chandelier and an eat-in kitchen set and another window that's off to your left that you can't see. So when you walked into this kitchen, it was dramatic. The other thing we did in this kitchen was it had a very narrow doorway into the kitchen, almost like what you would go into a bedroom with. And we widened that as much as we could to give us a grander entrance and, again, create the illusion of more openness and more space. So as far as the bulleted points here with the tips for you renovators, I always suggest you use licensed contractors and obtain permits to ensure the work is done right. Buyers will pay for the extra peace of mind. It will help you get your appraisal up, and will also help you in your inspections in the end because you've done the work right. Cutting corners, actually, I believe it costs you more in the long run, because when you cut a corner and it's wrong, you're going to pay again to have it done right. So you ultimately are going to pay more to do something right that you should have done right in the beginning. And when people cut corners, they are literally almost always stepping over dollars to save pennies. And I see this happen all the time in renovations, where we're going to do it ourselves, we're going to hire all our friends, we're going to be weekend warriors, we're going to get this home done in 2 months. Well, 2 months later, not only have you worked full time, but you spent all your weekends here, and man, now it's time for a break, and your friends don't even want you to call them anymore. They're just put you on cancel. Don't dial me. I'm over that. And now you're 3-4 months into a project that you're over. You're kind of out of money because you thought you'd be sold by now. The plans never go right. So it's not your profession. It's not your expertise. You know, get in there and do it right. And you're going to pay for it one way or the other. So pay for it to get done the right way and get the reward for doing it that way. Luxury renovations are no different in concept. The same philosophy with some, a few unique differences that, seem obvious. But again, if you're going to cut corners and you decide to go into the luxury renovation market, cutting those corners, you will lose your life savings and then some, because the buyers are different. These buyers know quality when they see it, and they want to pay for quality, and they are more than willing to pay for quality. So this is a before and after of a luxury renovation that I'll share a few tips with you. You can see even in the before picture, it's hard to even tell what the house looks like with all those huge bushes. And again, the same space, but you create the illusion of a larger green area because you've taken away the blocks, the big block of landscaping there. And it's hard to even see what the colors was, but here's an example of, a luxury kitchen. Here's where you're going to spend money in the luxury arena with high-end appliances, a chef's kitchen, where you can see in the before, we had electric stove, and in the after, everything was switched over to gas. And it's a gas stove with a double island, and we've taken out the soffits and the low-hanging ceilings. And although it doesn't necessarily look like it in the after picture, these are relatively high ceilings. And very sleek, modern look. This is what is trending. If you want to make a kitchen look larger, then you certainly make it white. And so you're going to use custom designs. You would never, ever go to a regular, I have nothing against Home Depot. They're wonderful for all my other renovations, but Home Depot products and materials are just not found in these luxury high-end renovations. In this particular before picture, you can see that there's a patio in the corner. And believe it or not, that's a 10 by 10 patio. It's hard to tell the size of the dimensions in the pictures, but it's really, with all the outdoor space that this property has, we felt in the master bedroom it wasn't necessary, and it would be more appealing and more beneficial for us to put that 10 by 10 space, that extra 100 square feet of space, into the master bedroom rather than cut into it. I mean, you can't center your bed, it's very bizarre to have that. So again, it was removed to give a lot more space. So, same concept as in any other home. You're removing walls. One of the things I do a lot in first-time home buyer homes, or actually any home that I do, if there is a pool outside and the master bedroom does not access that pool, more than 50% of the time, I will put in French doors from the master to the patio so that it flows to the outside, because that outdoor space is big time trending. And when, again, the decision makers can be in the master bedroom and walk right outside to their pool, access their children, grab something, come out of the pool with a towel on and run into their room. It's such a much easier sell. So I'm selling lifestyle at every level, and you want to make lifestyle seem like this is going to be easy here, good here, we can flow here, I like this. The other houses in this neighborhood don't have this because this is how they were built. So, what's trending in this particular picture? What's trending is the double chandelier in these high-end homes. And very expensive. These chandeliers weigh almost 300 pounds a piece. They have to be bracketed into the attic a certain way. And then you see in the before picture these kind of rafter things that were maybe really cool when the home was built, but they're really just taking away an illusion of openness and space now. So you're removing them and just modernizing and doing what you should do here. Here's another room. It was media room before. It's kind of now office/media room here. Electronic blinds. We want to make lifestyle easy. Walk in, press a button, boom, here's your media room now, because you just press blinds and it's darkened the entire room. Again, wood floors are trending, and what we find out in the high end, well, nobody wants to take care of wood floors, especially thousands of square feet of them. But what they love is porcelain, right? So porcelain has wood look floors. They look amazing. You can't even tell when you walk in, but they maintain. They don't get ruined, and they will last long. Glass is trending very much so. And so the staircase and the catwalk, you can see in the before picture, all the wooden railings. Well, that's not really trending anymore unless you're going for that traditional look. So you've got to decide what look you're going for, and then kind of have everything that's trending for that look follow. So if you're looking for a more modern, sleek look, glass is in, cable is in, almost looks like nautical cable, and they're using a lot of that. And so it doesn't obstruct view, but helps the view flow. So you can see that with all that glass and all that sea of white, that it looks very open. It looks very beautiful with all that glass. The master bathroom, again, what's trending is a soaking tub, and you can put a soaking tub in any level home, okay? And you know, people who would love to buy $1 million home but can only afford a $300,000 home would love to walk into that $300,000 home you have for sale and find out that what's trending in the $1 million homes you've done in the $300,000 level. So in a modern look, you're going to do the floating vanities. In this particular vanity, we actually had custom-made drawers that held blow dryers and curling irons and actually plugged in at the back of the drawer so that everything could stay clean on the countertops. And you just kind of think of what are these extra things. I don't know if you can tell in the before picture, but the shower is to the right of the sunken tub. And we, in the after picture, we enlarged that as much as we could to make a rain head and body sprays and all of the things that you would find trending in a very expensive home. Here's something unique, but in this home, it was completely gutted and everything was redone. Over in the before picture, you can see in the right top, there's skylights. So this bathroom has skylight clear across one side to the other. So when we're replacing the roof, because it needed a new roof, skylights are no longer trending in new construction. And when you're going from non-impact to hurricane impact windows and doors everywhere, to custom order skylights that are impact will not only set you back in time, but it will set you back financially. So a better decision was to close off those skylights. It cost way less. So it actually saved a lot of money to remove skylights, put in drywall, finish off the roof edge there, and close that up. And of course, if you're buying it and you're coming in the after, you wouldn't even know, hey, there should be a skylight here. That would never even be a conversation. There's so much lighting and open space in this home that, you know, it's not even a concern. So we just love the way the bathroom turned out. And so here's a look from the upstairs where your catwalk in glass makes a big difference, and how even you can see out in the right side. It seems a little more closed in, and that's also because it was painted a darker purple. And you can see that in the before picture, you kind of have those rafter things over your dining room. And again, you know, it stops your view from flowing. So anytime you have something obstructing your view that doesn't need to be there, remove it. So a lot of times you can come into a home, this happens quite a bit as a renovator, and there's a wall there, or there's something there. And you're going, wow, that's got to go, but what am I going to replace it with? Because, you know, you just feel like something was there. The obvious thing to do is replace it. So I want you to start thinking, replace it and just get rid of it. You don't need anything there. You know, a lot of times more open space is better, and you don't need to spend the money to put anything back there. And that happens a lot in every renovation. And then, of course, here's our after picture of the back of the home. And, you know, what a big difference with a new roof, more of a modern look, and just changing the paint color. You know, going from the old brick paver to travertine marble. Even with the pool, it was always green before, I was told, because they had painted the inside. And when the paint started peeling, paint chemicals and pool chemicals don't mix and will never turn blue. So the pool was completely redone. I loved that the pool had all these modern lines because we didn't have to do anything to it but remove these landscape beds. You see you've got a landscape bed on both sides of the pool there. So we removed the landscape bed that you see further to the house. Why? Because it blocks the view of the pool. Just get rid of it. You don't need it. And then on the other landscape bed, we replaced that with an actual waterfall wall. So water's coming out of a waterfall there, and the sound is nice, the view is nice, and it makes a very pretty look. And then just like our other homes, We do stage them because staging shows lifestyle. And in this elevated home market of the price range that this home is being sold at, you are selling lifestyle. And so we want folks to come in and think, all I need to bring is my suitcase. So, you know, you're constantly thinking of your consumer, and you just don't have one consumer in mind. You want that whole target consumer audience to walk in and create a bidding war for your project because you did it right from the beginning to the end. So I hope that that gives you a lot of good tips for renovating your first or next property, and watch your investment turn around quicker and for more money. And if you want to learn more about what we do, check us out at 32 West Realty or get on our email list. We'd love to sell you properties in the South Florida market that are good for flips. And if you enjoyed what you learned about doing renovations right, then please continue to follow us here at learnfromgreen.com. We will teach you more about real estate investing and other amazing topics online via live interactive video conference classes. Very unique way of learning, and when you increase your knowledge, you will certainly increase your income. Thanks for tuning in today.